I'm live. Hey guys, welcome to a new episode of Free Spirit Beading with me, your host, Kristen Fagan, here on the Soft Flex Company YouTube channel. For those of you that are on Facebook, you may have seen me this morning. Hi, Robin. I am back and we are going to talk about some macrame. Robin will remember, somebody did ask on the Facebook feed if we could do the macrame with one strand down the center. So I did try that out and I'll show you guys the results of that. Hi, Mary. I am working with our Dark Heart Trios beading wire set. So that is these luscious colors. I'm getting low on my garnet. This is what the garnet actually looks like. I'm getting low on my garnet here. So we've got garnet, black, and pink tourmaline. And these are all Soft Flex Beading Wire, medium diameter, 0.019 in this trio set. That is a newbie. We just launched that last week, along with a Dark Heart Trios custom bead mix from our friends at Jesse James Beads. It is an exclusive Soft Flex Company bead mix, so you can just get it at softflexcompany.com while supplies last. I looked before the video and we have around 10 or 15 of those mixes left. Hey, Thomas. And once they're gone, they're gone. And then what else? We're going to be talking about the Mini Macramé Board. That's what I'll be using to macrame with today. You may have used cardboard and tape and things like that in the past, which still works for some materials, but when you're working with Soft Flex, because it has sort of a coating on the wire, it could be a little more slippery. Hey, Nancy. And so the Mini Macramé Bead Board works fantastically well for holding your wire in place. It also has measurements up and down, up across the top and down the side. So it makes it a little easier to lay things out and work on the measurements as well. Hi, Sheesh. Good to see everybody today. We are playing with macrame. So this is how it all, oh, where did it go? I was cleaning up my desk. Did I lose something? Always losing something. But this is how it started here. We're gonna do a half knot spiral macrame bracelet. And these beads are all from the Dark Heart bead mix collection. And the two wires that I'm using in here are the garnet and the black, and they're from the Dark Heart Trios variety pack. So we finished this one on the Facebook Live this morning, and then we started another. So on this video, we're gonna finish the one that we had started, the second one. So we got a lot going on this week. Tucson Gem and Bead Show has begun. Soft Flex Company is usually at the show, and this year we are not. So since we can't make it, and many of you can't make it, we are taking the show online. And usually when we're at a booth, we have demonstrations of all our different techniques and examples on how to use our wire. So we're gonna bring that to you guys. I know Thomas is saying, first time I'm missing out on Tucson in almost 20 years. I know, it's crazy. At one point we were at 2 shows, then we went down to 1 show, and this is the first year we're not there. Howdy, Amber. So this is the first year we're not there. But we wanted to still show up for you guys online and bring you daily demonstrations over on our Facebook page. So you have to be a Facebook member and go over to the Soft Flex Company Facebook page, and you'll be able to see our daily videos that are going to be 9 a.m. Pacific time. I started this morning with macrame. And then Sarah's going to do some, James will do some. We'll have all different techniques we'll be sharing, all at 9 a.m. Pacific time. And then if you're watching us live over there, we're also doing a giveaway each day too. So please come over and join us on Facebook this week. I'm still here today, and I believe that James will still be here on Thursday. I think he's got a video on Thursday. I didn't write that down. But we are doing, we are involved in a 30-day of giveaway, a winter giveaway with the company Micro Tools. And tomorrow will be the day they're giving away a Soft Flex product. That is, you can go check that out on YouTube here at Melissa Muir's page. That is Melissa, and last name is Muir. She'll be doing the videos over on her YouTube page every day, so you can join that. For more information and to sign up to be involved in the giveaway, you do need to go to microtools.com. That's micro with a little hyphen and then tools.com. Soft Flex Company just shared Melissa's YouTube page and the Micro Tools website. Thank you very much for sharing those links in the chat, so you guys can hop over and check them out after the video. Amber says, I am macrame challenged. So glad you are showing this. I cannot get it right. Well, this one is a simple knot. I'm going to show you the knot, and then you just repeat it the entire time. You can add beads along the way if you want to add beads on it. So I'll show you that, and hopefully then this will help the macrame click for you, or at least this particular knot click for you, and then you can grow on your skills in the future. Hey Sarah, welcome, welcome, welcome. So I was just getting to the sale. It's February 3rd, and like I said, Tucson is underway. So we've got a couple of sales happening online for you guys. We've got 20% off of all of our beading wire, everything, all of it, even the ones that you can find maybe in outlet or in closeout, you'll get an extra 20% off, and no coupon needed for that. 20% off of all of our craft wire. Again, all of it, all gauges, all colors. We do have craft wire in closeout as well. That is marked down, and then you'll get an extra 20% off this week. Those are both good until February 11th. And then in addition, if you are buying beads, and we hope that you are, because we have so many, we have like 3,000 different kinds of beads online, so many different types. You can use the coupon code BEADSHOW, all one word. That will give you an extra 10% off, and most of our beads are already discounted. So you'll see the discounted rate online while you're shopping at softflexcompany.com. Then you can add the coupon code at checkout and get an additional 10% off of any of the beads that are in your shopping cart. All right, all orders over 50 always have the option to ship free here in the United States. Yeah, let's get busy with macrame, and I'll show you some examples I've got here on my table. So this is the Mini Macramé Board I'm using. And I may be able to just move this over a little bit. It is about, it goes up to 8 really to 9 inches, and then you've got a little bit of space here too. So I'd say the board in total is probably about 10 inches in size, and you can use these little notches along all the edges to secure your beading wire. So this was the design we started on Facebook this morning. This was the one we completed. They're both using the Dark Heart Bead Mix and Dark Heart Trios. This one is using the garnet and the black, and you'll see I'm using the black as the base wire, and then you've got the garnet wrap knotting on top. So that's how you get those two-tone color effect on there. And I finished them all off with 2x2 millimeter crimp tubes in the sterling silver black oxidized, and one of our little Anna toggle clasps. Pretty nail color too. Thank you. Yeah, I got festive today and decided to paint my nails. I haven't done that for a while. Yeah, the clasp worked out really perfect. I don't actually use this little clasp that much, but since macrame is such a small, kind of delicate design, this toggle clasp I think worked out perfectly. We do have a few other toggles larger that are that we have in our component section in this gunmetal color too. So really pretty. So while we were on the video this morning, someone had asked, instead of the 2 strands coming down the middle, can you just do 1 strand? And I had always learned it with the 2, so that's just what I've always done. So I wanted to take some time after the video this morning before I jumped on here to do that. And I did do an example on 1 strand. It did work, but you will see stability-wise, see how much straighter this wire is? And then this one is a bit wonky. So it works, but you don't have as much stability in the center of your bracelet, so it's not quite as straight. As this one. However, once you put it on your wrist, like once you take it and put it on your wrist, you really can't tell. So it's just a matter of it having a little less stability than the 2 strands in the middle. And you really can't tell that much once you get it on. So one of the other things that came up too is, how do I end it if I only have 1 strand? So what you would need to do, because you would have 1 strand coming out the center, and then you have 2 strands from the knotting, you actually have 3 strands all together. So what I did was crimped all 3, because you really can only get 3 strands in a 2x2 crimp tube. So I crimped all 3, cut off the trimmed wire, leaving just this one. So this side will have 2 crimps. So I'll have this one here, and then I'll do another crimp that connects to my finding. And then on this side, I would just have the 1 crimp that connects to my finding, unless I wanted to add 2 crimps just for symmetry's sake, you know. You wouldn't actually need it though, you would just need the 1 on this side. So a few of you are saying, yeah, you like it better with the 2 strands in the middle. I think I kind of prefer it with the 2 strands in the middle as well. Probably partly because I've just always done it that way, so it feels comfortable to me. But you can totally get away with it. There are workarounds for getting away with it with the 1 strand. So I wanted to show that to you. So this one I also used, all of these beads are from Dark Heart. And the reason why that came up in conversation is when you're using macrame and you're adding beads, you want to slide the beads up the 2 strand. However, sometimes your bead holes are not big enough. And in the case of this bracelet, all of the beads that I put on here only had holes large enough for 1 strand. So that is sort of how the conversation came up and how it started. So in that particular scenario, it is more practical to have the 1 strand. So you could use smaller beads with smaller holes if you're just doing the 1 strand down the center. Exactly. Good to know. So yeah, that was a nice, that's one of the fun things about when you do these live videos with you guys, is you get to ask us questions that maybe we didn't think about, and we can go ahead and check it out and come back with you back to you guys with what we found out in the process. So I thank you for whoever asked that. I don't remember who it was. We all get to learn in the process. Yes. All right, so what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna start a fresh one with you guys, just so you see how it begins, and then we'll move to this one and we will finish this together. So I'll just start a small little one just to give you the knotting pattern. But if you were doing a bracelet where you were starting You need all the wire for the bracelet. You would cut two 12-inch strands for your center. So in this case, that is the black. So you cut two 12-inch black strands, and then one 60-inch of the pink tourmaline, and that is your knotting strand. And that will allow you to get a bracelet about 7 inches in size with still some knotting wire left over. I like to have enough that I don't run out and I can crimp and all that kind of stuff easily and not being too shortchanged. But just so you know, there will be a little left over. You can always hold on to those little extra pieces in a baggie and save them for projects when you're doing earrings or just something where you might need a little bit of wire to connect. Let's see. So I've got a pair of flush cutters. These are the Soft Flex Professional flush cutters, and I'll use that to cut my 2 strands for the center wire. And then you need your knotting wire, which I said will be about 60 inches. I'm just gonna cut a small one for the demonstration. And so these are these cute little Anna clasps. We do have them in a bunch of different colors. I've used the 2 black ones already, so I'm just gonna grab one of the silver ones. And in that case, I'll just use a silver, sterling silver 2x2 crimp tube along with it. But you can also use these really pretty blackened crimp tubes when you're using the gunmetal findings like I did on this one. So I'm going to pick up the 2 black strands. I'm going to slide on the crimp tube, and then I'm going to take one of the strands and attach the toggle to just one. And take that one back down through my crimp tube, creating my loop. You want to make sure your loop is a size where your toggle can float around freely. You don't want it to be too tight that you can't get that toggle to move. And then I'm going to crimp it. And I'm going to crimp with my magical crimping pliers, which have 1 notch in the center. So you're going to place your crimp right in the center. It'll pinch the 4 corners, and that's how you'll know if your crimp was nicely centered in there. That'll be your guide. And then you'll turn it 90 degrees, put it back in that notch, squeeze again, and then just roll it around in there, and it'll make a cute little, about 2 by 2 millimeter, a little smaller bead. And then I'm just going to trim off the little wire tails that I don't need. So you're left with your toggle, crimped, and your 2 center strands. Now you can just take your clasp, whatever it is, your toggle or a lobster clasp, and stick it in this notch here at the top of the macrame board. And then you would tuck your wire in the bottom. So you just take your wire and you tuck it in the bottom like that to hold them in place. And that would be both your wires. They can either be in the same notch or you can separate them into 2 separate notches. That's totally up to you. Whatever feels more comfortable. Okay, and so now this is my knotting strand. So this is the really long, I cut it shorter just for demonstration, but this would be your 60-inch strand. you're gonna put it underneath these two center wires, and you're gonna find the center of the pink wire. So you're gonna want about 30 inches on each side. You just hold it up, you know, get your wire tails close to the same size, and you're good. And we have enough extra that it doesn't have to stay exact, but you want to get close to the center, as close to the center as possible. So now I'm going to show you the knot. You're just going to repeat this knot the entire time. So let's make sure I can get underneath my wire here. I'm going to start with my right side. I'm going to create a loop just like that. So it's looping and then going over those two center strands. Then my left side is going to come on top of the pink, thread it under the two center strands and through this loop that you made on this side, and pull it tight. Just like that. And then you can just push your little knot up to your crimp. And then we're going to repeat that again. So we're going to make our loop. Oh, am I up too high? Am I up too high? I feel like I have a lot of space up here when I look at it on my computer, but maybe you're looking at it on a different screen and you're not seeing all that. Okay, so we'll do that same one again. So we are going to cross over the center. We are going to go on top of this pink, under the center two strands, and through this loop. Oh, you had it scroll down. So it was just your computer that was low. Well, that's okay. Maybe it helped to move down a little bit anyhow. You had the top cut off. Well, you never know. Somebody else could have too. So again, we'll just keep doing that same knot. So you take your right side, you cross it over the center, you make that loop, you take the left side, you go over the pink, under the black, through the loop you made. Amber says, do you go in between the black threads? No, I don't go in between these black threads at all. I'm going over it and I'm going under it, but I'm not going in between. So I'm going over with the right side. Left is coming over the pink, under the two black strands, through the loop. Over the black, over the pink, under the black, through the loop. And I'm going to pull it closer just so you start to see how that spiral is happening. And if your knot is down lower, I could just push it back up to my crimp. And then you can add some beads. Yeah, I do think the line of the board may have been, that's why I kind of picked them up a little bit so you could see. Let's see, let me hold it off to the side here once too, and do one more. So loop over, left side goes over this pink, under the two black wires, through the loop that you made. And there you're starting to see it spiral even a little bit more. So I'm going to take that one off the board right now. And I'm going to go back to this one. So we did this part together where you attach it to the clasp and then you do your spiral. And then I didn't show you yet how to add beads. So we'll do that part next down here. So let's see what my pattern was. I had one of these pink beads, then a silver bead, and then one of those pink beads again. So I've got a pink bead, a silver bead, and I will pick up and then one of those pink beads from in here. So this is what I've got left of my dark heart mix. So there's still some really fun things to play with. There's still a couple of pom-poms, 2 different types of tassels, black tassels, pink tassels, this really pretty connector in here, some hot pink beads, and some little tiny fire polish beads. So there's still a good mix left, even though I've made 3 bracelets. So we're gonna slide on this bead. So what you do is you take your 2 wires out of the board, you string them on, and just push that bead up to the top, and then I'm gonna just add my wires to the notch again to secure it. Now I'll take my knotting strands out of their notches, and we will continue with the same knot. We're just gonna do it around, we're actually gonna do it a few times and then add the bead. I didn't realize I was so close to the silver. So let's do it a couple times and then we'll add a bead. 1. And I talked a little bit on the Facebook page this morning too. You can count your knots to decide where you want your beads to lay, like every 10 knots or every 5 knots or whatever you decide. Or you can use these little lines on the macrame board to help you decide where things will lay. I really like to do it that way because inevitably I get distracted and I lose count of my knots. So I really find the lines here on the macrame board to be helpful in me deciding where I'm gonna go next. So once you wanna slide, ready to add the bead, you just slide that bead up there, and then we'll do that same knot around the bead. So you make your loop with the right side, crossing over the black center wires. You'll take your left one, go over the pink, under the black 2 wires, and then through that hole, that loop that you created, and pull tight. And then you'll do that again. And you'll notice when you do the next one after a bead that sometimes the wire that's attached to the bead kind of pops up. So you just want to tighten that up before you pull this one tight, and then you'd be all good. We'll do a few more. And I'm just doing that same knot over and over and over again. So if you feel your bracelet starting to twist, as mine's kind of doing right now, it's kind of pulling to the left side and twisting on me, you can just fight it a little bit and it'll eventually come back around. So you can just stay with the right side, keep going, and it'll come back around. But if it's bugging you, this is one little trick you can do to kind of let it lay flat again. You always want to be working with the right side. So you want this wire to spin around and come back to this right side again. So you can spin it once, now it's over here. Spin it twice, now it's back over here. And then I can just continue knotting. And that just straightens out your design so it's not pulling against you as much. But like I said, you can just keep going. It does come back around. So sometimes I'll just keep staying on that right side and it'll be all right. So after that bead, then I did a little bead cap, pearl, and another bead cap. So to add these in, you're just gonna go through your bead cap on both of the black strands, slide it up, go through your pearl bead. And it's a little snug on the pearl bead, but it does get through. If you have a reamer around, you can always kind of clean out the inside of that bead a little bit. It might go on a little bit nicer. Once I have my beads strung, I'll just stick my wires back down in the notch and go back to my knot. And I think here I'll take it off and show you how to finish the end of your design before I start getting lower and lower in my wire. Because I started this one on a demo, I didn't actually measure it out perfectly. Usually you will have plenty of wire left at the end with 60-inch strand. So here we are. We've got the one strand attached. Am I quiet? Oh, maybe I'm tired a little bit today, sheesh. It's been busy. It's been a busy morning. Sorry I'm being quiet. So you come down on this end, I'll raise it up a little bit. You will have 4 strands coming out of your design. So your options for 4 strands is to use a large crimp tube and do like the 3mm by 3mm and then connect it with the mighty crimping plier. But I like to use the little crimp tubes. So I'm gonna show you what I do for the little guys. I am gonna take out a jump ring to attach to my toggle. So there's one small jump ring. And let's see if I can find, thanks, Sarah. There it is. There's my little toggle end piece. Hi, Angie. Welcome to the party. I am attaching the end piece of the toggle to this little jump ring, just like that. And then you'll want to use either 2 chain nose pliers or a chain nose and a flat nose or a chain nose and a bent nose to grab a hold of your jump ring and wiggle it close together to tighten it up, make it nice and closed. And then for this design, I'm using the sterling silver black oxidized crimp tubes to match my findings. So you're gonna string the crimp tube down one side, So it's attaching those two wires on the one side, and then you're going to string another one down the other side. Just like that. So now I've got a crimp on 2 and 2. And since I have just the black wire showing, I'm going to keep just the black wire showing here as well. So I'm going to slide my jump ring onto one of the black wires and go back down into the crimp tube on that side to create a loop. This wire will eventually get cut away after we crimp. And then I'm going to grab the black wire from the other crimp side, string that on to that same jump ring, and then go down here, tighten that up, and then I'll just look at my 2 loops, make sure that they are close in size. Right there. So now I'm going to crimp both of these and they'll be connected to this jump ring. I can cut away the pink strands and I could cut away the tails of the black wire. So using my magical crimping pliers, it'll be a little tough to see because I'm kind of in between here, but you crimp one way and then you crimp on the other side, 90 degrees, and go around it a couple times like that, and then I'll crimp it on this side as well. Put it in my magical crimpers. It will pinch the 4 corners. Then I want it to go 90 degrees from where I started. Put it back in the crimpers, crimp it again, and then using the flat side of your flush cutter, you push that up against your crimp and you trim away your excess wire, being careful not to cut anything that is holding your bracelet together. So with the pink ones, you know you're good, but you just want to make sure you don't accidentally snip any of the looped wire. So that's how you would finish the other end. Angie says it won't come out of the crimp. I'm used to running it through a few beads. Nope, you do not need to run it through a few beads. If you're using quality crimps like Soft Flex company crimp tubes and you're using a crimping plier, you should not have to run back through your beads. So those are the 2 ways, that is considered a proper way to crimp, and in that case your crimps will hold without having to run back. You can actually trim your wire right up to your crimp. The magical crimpers do only work with the 2x2 millimeter crimp tubes. They don't have any magical crimpers for the other sizes, sadly. So if you're using a smaller or a larger crimp, you would have to use the regular, you'd have to use the micro crimper or the mighty crimper that look like this. This one's the mighty. I know, I do wish there was an option for a 3x3. That would be awesome, because a lot of times I do kind of adjust my design because I want to use the 2x2 crimp tube. But if I was able to use the 3x3, I would be able to just gather all of these into one 3x3 crimp and not have to separate, do this little separation technique that I came up with. But no, we can only use the 2x2 millimeter size with this guy. Yeah, it does make you think a little bit more out of the box and be creative. So let me show you this up close. You can see that you just get like a little peekaboo effect with the black wire running through. You could always do this all in one color too, have the wire in the middle be the same color you're knotting with, and then it would just disappear. So those are just design choices you can make, or depending on what kind of materials you have on hand. Yeah, just asking because you saw all those crimplings. Yep, that is exactly why I ended up doing it this way, is because they don't have a magical crimper for the larger size. I think I have a bracelet with the larger crimps. Let me grab it. I feel like oh, I must have covered it up. See, what I did on this bracelet here is I did use the larger crimp tubes, and then I used some craft wire to cover them. So if you do use the larger ones, you can do something like that too, and then just cover it with some craft wire or a crimp cover or things of that nature to hide them up a little bit. Yeah, this kind of, you're right, Sarah. This design does help to keep the flower in an upright position. That was one thing I noticed when I was doing it, is if you get the wire, the flower has like a little bit of a lip right here. So if you get the wire kind of just around the lip, it'll hold that flower into position on your wrist, which is pretty neat because some designs, these flowers do kind of pop around. All right, guys. Well, thank you for being here with me today. Sarah was laughing at how long my first video was this morning, and I said, I just, my videos, I just can't seem to get them shorter than 40 minutes or so. And so today we're at about 43 minutes right now. So here's all of the bracelets we've made so far with the Dark Heart Trios and the Dark Heart Bead Mix. Robin, I hope you found it helpful. Amber, you too, I hope you found it helpful. And that is something you can give a try. We talked about 30 minutes in each video. I know. I can't do 30 minutes unless I'm doing like something super, super simple. I just can't. So I'm gonna, so let me go ahead and pull you guys up here. I'm a long talker. It's just part of who I am. But yeah, you can always watch the full video later. After I'm live, it will post and you'll be able to watch it from the beginning. We also have a whole playlist of just macrame, and using the macrame board in different ways. So you can take a look here in the Soft Flex YouTube channel as well. Check out that playlist and you'll have some other macrame knots to look at, as well as other ideas. Sarah's used the macrame board for wrap bracelets and things that are a little different than just macrame. So pretty fun to see. So yeah, grab your wire this week, 20% off beading wire and craft wire, no coupon needed for that. And then an extra 10% off all of our beads, including lots of them that are already discounted, like 99% of them are already discounted. And then you'll get an extra 10% off with the coupon code BEADSHOW, all one word. And that ends February 11th for both those offers. And check us out on Facebook this week, daily giveaways and video demonstrations at 9 a.m. Pacific time. Let us see, oh, my heart painting. All right, I'll show you in just a sec. What do we got going on video-wise? We have so much. We have tomorrow is the 30 days of giveaways with Micro Tools. So check out microtools.com to learn more about that. There's a Soft Flex giveaway tomorrow. And then we also have the live demonstration at 9 a.m. with Sarah. And then again, another Facebook video at 1 p.m. with Sarah tomorrow. That will be a special warehouse bead showcase to give you guys an idea of what those wonderful beads on our website look like. We have like thousands of beads online, but we found when we do our live sales, it makes such a difference when you guys can see the bead a little more up close with the light coming in and just really see how they sparkle. So Sarah's gonna do a little bead showcase with some of the stuff we sell online. Oh, you're doing wig jig tomorrow. So wig jig tomorrow with Sarah at 9 a.m. And the giveaway is on Melissa Mears' YouTube channel. It does seem like you have to sign up for it at microtools.com. So yeah, you can check it out over at Melissa Mears' YouTube channel as well to see what they've done so far. I think they're up to day 3 or 4 today. So you can see what they've done each time leading up to now. And there'll be 30 days of those giveaways. So you need to get a special code from her that you can use to enter. Kind of fun little scavenger hunt going on. All right, so you want to see this this painting I'm working on? Let's see, how do I do this best? I moved it over here. So this guy, right now, it just has hearts all over it, and it says one word. Do you guys see it? It says love, 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 love. And yes, this is my first layer. I love to start my paintings, any painting that I'm working on, with a first layer where I will infuse it with words or meaning or intentions or dreams, all that kind of stuff. Usually they're not like this pretty to begin with though. I'm really digging where this is on the first layer. So it's gonna be hard. It's almost gonna be a little tough to cover over it because I just feel like it's so fun. But that's how I like to get started. It's my way of, yes, of course, I took a photograph already and so that I can be reminded by it. And maybe I will do something similar just like that in my sketchbook or something like that to remind me of it too. But yeah, it's a fun way to kind of get out of that blank canvas feeling, you know, like where do I start? Where do I begin? And if you just start by putting down some intention, some word and some symbols and things of that nature, it just kind of gets you moving, gets things going, gets your inspiration flowing without being like nervous of that blank canvas. Looks like a pretty fabric or wrapping paper design, Sarah says. Yeah, that would be interesting. It's really quite fun right now. I'm gonna have a hard time painting over it, but I can take a picture and save that for later. All right, well, I hope you guys enjoy our week of demonstrations and videos and goodies, and grab some wire. The trios are all on sale, so the dark art trio we used today is 20% off. And love everybody. Yes, love you, Sarah. And we'll see you online all over the place this week. Have a good one. Bye.